So it's the end of an era, and I had to come in, of course, with this. No king rules forever, my son. So Skype, after 22 years, has shut down. Of course, I think it's remaining up for a short time if you want to transfer contacts and all that stuff. Which is it's nice for people who do. Um, but then I'm sure after some time it'll just Skype will shut down completely because they have Teams. So they're like, oh yeah, you can go on and transfer contacts and everything over to Teams. Sign into Teams with your Microsoft account and transfer contacts and stuff like that. So, but I haven't used Skype in years. I mean, after a while, people just stop using it, and then you might be lucky to find a person on like once a year, and they're kind of doing the same thing as you. It's just like checking in, to see if people are still around and whatever. But I mean, I remember I think I joined Skype back in like 2006. Actually, probably no, yeah, I think 2006 or so. And but it was it was just a place for me. And like when I was dating the girl here in North Carolina, she's like a year older than me. We met on IMVU. And first night we were on the phone that we met, we were on the phone. And yeah. And then eventually we started dating, and she came to live with me in New Jersey, but then she didn't want to stay because she didn't like Jersey very much. And so I came to live with her here and couldn't stay because it was hard finding a job here back then because there weren't many places to work. Um, so I went to Texas, and I mean, Skype was a great way to, you know, talk, play WoW, and she's the one who got me into WoW. But so we would sit there and play WoW and talk on Skype, and my computer wasn't that great at the time, so it was kind of annoying. Um, I could barely multitask on that computer. Like even with Skype, if I had more than one message going, it just it just like lagged the whole thing. Same thing with some of the other messengers. If there was more than one going, it lagged and it took forever to type. Um, I think it had like a I think my computer I got it from my grandma who used it because of like an office for the office job she had. So she had like bare minimum requirement for space and RAM. So they're like, I had less than like a gig of RAM on that computer. So when I tried to run anything, it just no. But then the guys were like, oh yeah, we'll put a gig or two on there, and so it ran a little better, but it was still annoying. But yeah, just long nights of Skype and World of Warcraft. Before we had Netflix and chill, we had Skype and uh Skype and chill. I don't know, but yeah, but yeah, it's being shut down to focus for them because they want to focus on teams. Um, of course, everyone is just like, oh man, my childhood biggest fumble in communications history. In an alternate world, we'd be on Skype instead of Zoom. It's getting crowded up there. Who remembers when Skype was so popular? It became a verb. I'll Skype you tonight. Used to be a real thing. Rest in peace, Papa Skype. Exactly. Exactly. Historicals calls on Skype with the pit. You'll get anxiety from that call noise. Rip goat. My friend. Oh, wait, is it on TeamSpeak? Wow. My childhood was a good run. End of an era. I'll never forget that sound of the ringtone. Remember when we thought Discord saved us from Skype's ads? How long until they're next? Memorable. Microsoft ran into the ground. Goodbye to the end of an era. Rest in peace, daddy of Zoom and Gmeet. Horn went out for the real ones. Sad day. Time to shut down Microsoft Teams now, too. So remember, Skype is a verb in popularity of it. My childhood MMORPG days are now gone. End of an era like MySpace. Couldn't compete and let it fall. Yeah, MySpace, same thing. I mean, I check in on MySpace every once in a while. It doesn't even look like it's not even the same site anymore. You know, it's harder to navigate and find things, and like if you remember, like, oh man, I remember uploading this picture that I only had once onto MySpace. Yeah, congrats, you can't get it anymore because when they transferred or whatever with the servers, pictures just didn't transfer along with them, so you can't even see your pictures anymore. So if you're thinking of like, didn't I used to have a picture of this, and remember that it was on MySpace, and then you go to MySpace to try to get it, and yep, sorry, not there anymore. So, but yeah, remember back in the day when MySpace was king? But then Facebook comes along, but now even Facebook, no one really uses Facebook anymore. I mean, I have Facebook just to family and stuff because I'm here in North Carolina. I've got my mom in Texas, my dad in New Jersey, you know, so it's kind of for family. I don't really even do anything on. I just go in, check if anyone's on. Like, okay, well, everyone's still alive. I just leave. End of an era. Goodbye, old friend. You were more than just a blue ringtone. You were our first long distance hug. Yeah, rip Skype. Thanks for the memories. Thought it was already gone. And it's just the beginning. Rip to the dead, homie. Microsoft killed Cortana for Copilot. Microsoft killed Skype for Teams. Microsoft killed Nokia phone with Windows OS. Fly high in the clouds, Skype. You're my first voice communications platform. End of an era. Farewell, old friend. Rip Skype. Pour one out. Yeah, that's pretty much what I had to do once. I mean, it was only like a couple dollars. So there was a time where, you know, I had money, but like I didn't want to pay for phone service because I really didn't have many people to call or anything. I'm like, I'll just pay for Skype. Instead of wasting $60, $70 a fucking month, I only had to spend like $3. So for a while, that's how I was calling people. So yeah, it's, you know, like I had the money. It's just, again, I don't use my phone. I don't call anyone. I don't text anyone. So to pay for a service that I'm not going to use, and I know people would say, oh, well, you know, you can't with the pay for your, you know, pay as you use or whatever. No. I mean, again, Skype was like $3 fucking dollars. So I don't care about, you know, the pay as you go. It's not doing it. End of an era. Terrible news. Ain't used it since I was 14, but still. Yeah. Bye, Skype. Rip to an OG. That video call would get crazy past midnight. End of an era. Crazy how Microsoft just destroyed this app. You lived a good life, just like an old dog or an old cat. You know, a faithful companion that you live with, and, you know, you watch them grow and get older, and before you know it, it's time for, you know, it's their time, you know, and you have to let them go. Part of the journey is the end. Yeah. Goodbye, Skype. Thank you for the calls. That's crazy. It's still crazy. Oh, feeling sad. I had good memories with Skype. Rip Skype, the OG FaceTime. Bet you $100 that the app will still be on my wife's iPhone a year from now. Skype dropped the ball so bad during COVID. Zoom sucks. Skype was groovy. Pretty sad. This one hurts a little. My old group chats, gone. The end of an era. I actually preferred this over TeamSpeak back in the day for an older MMO RPG I played. Why am I sad for something I never used? Good old times when Skype was always on my desktop screen. I mean, as you can see, it's like people are coming out in droves to pay their respects to Skype. End of an era, right next to Ventrilo and TeamSpeak. Ventrilo. Oh, the freaking Ventrilo. You can find it on YouTube, and I wasn't actually like doing any of it, but Ventrilo, I was on Ventrilo when this group that I was hanging out with, I didn't really speak or anything, but I can't remember where I saw that they were doing it, like what got my attention, but this Ventrilo group said that they were going to get in touch with Chris Hansen, like actually call the guy at home. So I was in the group for like an hour or so, and they actually managed to get a hold of Chris Hansen. And you can find it online. And the guy, it's it's stupid. And I remember them trying to get a hold. They were having to call everyone, like different people, like his agent and this and that. And I remember just kind of doing other things. And then I signed out of Vent for a little while, and I came back like an hour or so later, and they were still going. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we have a way to get in touch with Chris now." And I mean, it was really short. He's, it's like, "Hi, is this Chris?" Yes, it is. I have the chat logs. I've seen what you said. The guy's doing like a Chris Hansen voice. But yeah, they managed to get in touch with Chris Hansen. It was fun while I was there because I was like, "Holy shit, they are on call with Chris fucking Hansen." But Ventrilo, that was Skype and ICQ can now make babies in heaven. Rip to the OG. F in chat. Oh, fuck you. Press F to uninstall. Can you bring it back? Yes, it has finally traveled to into Microsoft Teams. I couldn't live without Skype. Oh, the kitty kitty. Will forever miss Skype. Will miss Skyping and playing Minecraft for hours after school. Thank you for everything. I'll miss Skype from hopping on the Skype call with the boys back in the day playing Minecraft and such. Wow. I forgot to take screenshots of old chats. A part of my childhood just vanished. But yeah, Skype's officially shutting down. And I think they're giving people time to kind of transfer stuff and all that before it shuts down to like where you try to sign in, it'll be like, "Oh, sorry, you can't do that." So if you have contacts, I guess sign in or whatever it is you have to do if you're going to use Teams. But yeah, just like MySpace, and pretty much anything else. It's great that so many people have come out. And this was just one person posting it. Actually, hang on. So this is this is actually Skype's Twitter page telling you about the I have Skype credit and subscription on my account. Can I still use it after May 5th? So they tell you and all that, but It fits every situation. No, you were the best. At what hour will the shutdown happen? Rest in peace, King. You deserve it. Thank you for being part of a generation. Seriously. We love Skype. No, Microsoft Teams sucks. Thank you, Skype. Goodbye. Shit show of a transition. Discord is scheduled to die within 1 to 2 years. New CEO. Please stay. I never used Skype, but thank you guys for leaving a mark in 2000's internet history. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. This is your last tweet on while shutdown. Well is final tweet. Uh-huh. Actually, I think I'll there we go. A terrible day for rain. But yeah, Skype is pretty much done. So, no king rules forever, my son. So it's a shame, but everything good comes to an end. Like I said, Facebook will come to an end eventually. Just as MySpace did to kind of give way to Facebook. Skype shut down and, giving way to Teams, or, you got right now Discord is pretty much king right now. But, MySpace and Skype crawled so that these others can walk. So don't forget where you came from. But yeah, let me hear your guys' Skype stories. When did you start Skype? And what you guys did. Was it like one of those places you just talk to friends, or were you like me and you played World of Warcraft or whatever MMO you played at the time, if you played MMOs at the time, and did that. But yeah, rest in peace, Skype. Gone but not forgotten. But anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.